Hello everyone, a very good evening. And first of all, I really hope and pray that everyone around the world is safe in this tough time. And yeah, I hope everybody is trying the best to fight on with this. And this tutorial is about creating a bar race chart graph that you can see on the screen, where we have a time series data and we visualize how the data is varying over a period of time. And for this tutorial, we'll be using the COVID-19 dataset, where we'll be using the data from the number of confirmed cases, recovered cases, and death cases over a period of time. It's really sad that nearly more than 14,000 people have died all over the world with this virus. Uh, yeah, but yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what to say, but let's get started with the tutorial, and we'll walk in step by step, where we'll see how we can prepare the data and which app we can use. It's a free app to create such graph for any time series data set, but here in the example we'll be using COVID-19 data set. And for creating this kind of bar race chart graph, you need two things. One is a time series data set, the one that you can see here, where there is some data over a period of time. It could be over a daily period or over a period of weeks, months. But if you have some data which is varying over time, then you can use the data to create such bar race chart graph. And this data set is again, the data set I'll be using is from the John Hopkins University. And then we'll be using an app. There's an app called Flourish Studio, where you can freely create your graph. Okay, so let's get started. So this is the Flourish Studio. Let me go here to. So you need to create an account here in Flourish.studio, and then there are two options like new visualization or new story. Suppose you go to a new visualization. So story is like a PowerPoint where you can add so many visualizations, and here there are so many interesting graphs that you can plot. But for this tutorial, we are interested in bar chart race, so we'll be uh, using this. So this is one template that I just chose, and this template is for bar race chart graph for the world population over different years, and you can see the data here. So data, we have some kind of country, we have a region, we have some image, and then the data over time. So we need to prepare a graph like this, where we have some kind of label that we want to give. In our case, we are using country, and then the values over a period of time. So as I said, we will be using John Hopkins University dataset about COVID-19, and this is the GitHub account. I'll again post the links and also this Jupyter notebook. But let's get started. So let's get started with the notebook first. So what I'm going to do, yeah. So first of all, I'll be just importing all the libraries. So I'll just zoom a bit here, and then these are the downloaded files that every time it gets downloaded, and you have to be, one thing that I want to say is they are updating their dataset file daily. So when I run this code, I'll be getting the latest data till date. So I'm just using this so that I can remove if there are any old files in this name. When we download this data set of COVID-19, we have three categories of time series data. One is the confirmed cases all over the world, then the death cases all over the world, and then the recovered cases all over the world. Okay, and we are going to plot the bar race chart graph for all the three cases. Now, once we download this, then we'll be reading all the CSV files. So when you download it, you'll get in your folder these three CSV files, as you can see here. And then we'll be doing some kind of pre-processing here, because so the basic structure for creating any bar chart graph is that you should have some labels, say country A, B, C, D or something, and then the data over varying over a period of time. Okay, so this is the basic structure. So if you have a data set in this kind of structure, you can obviously plot your bar chart graph. So in this case, I'm going to do some pre-processing because I need to bring it in that format. So what I did, I'll just read out with pandas file, and then you can see some of the initial file names. So in this case, we have a province state, we have a country, oh, and then we have latitude, longitude of that region, then the values different values over different dates, and this is daily data. So one thing you can see here is that the data is in terms of regions, and the bar race chart that we are plotting here is in terms of just countries, not in respect to regions. So we have to group all this. So you can see there are three different regions in Australia, and and there are three different data set. So we need to club all this into one data set referring to Australia, and similarly for other countries. First of all, let's list down all the columns, and we can use that using this data frame dot columns. And you can see these are the columns, and we have the data starting from 22nd January till today's date, 22nd March. And we'll use this group by a method to group all the data by country or by the region, by country region column, where it will add up all the cases from different regions within that country and give us one value referring to that country. And when we run this, and then we'll do ahead, and you can now what will happen is, you will get one value for one country summed over all the regions. Okay, now you can also see in this data frame, if you want to see which are the countries that are affected, so you can call out this specific column and you can see how many unique values are there. And when you print out, you will see there are a total of 171 countries that are affected by coronavirus right now. And also what you can do, so if you want to list out the different provinces or different states of a country, for example, say China, then you can just filter out that, and you can see there are nearly 33 regions in China that are affected, and similarly you can do for the different country. But here our goal is not to do analysis on coronavirus, but just to plot the bar race chart graph. So once our data set is prepared in the format of label like a country and the data set for different countries over a period of time, we are good to go. So what we will do first of all, we'll simply save all our save the prepared data set in the format we have prepared, and we'll do it for all the three cases: the confirmed cases, the death cases, and the recovered cases. And once we are done with this, we are good to go. So what we'll do, we'll start from scratch. Let's see, I go to say my projects, and what I'll start with, I will start with a new visualization, and then I will simply go to this bar chart race column, and I'll choose the first option, bar chart race graph. And there is already a preloaded data set here for the world population. But if you want to do it for your data set, we'll just go to this data section and we'll go to upload data files. Okay. And then we'll choose one of the prepared data sets, say COVID-19 bar race confirmed cases. And then we have to do import publicly. If you have to go private, then I think you need to have some membership, but as of now I'm going publicly. And then next, select the columns. Now this is the basic bar race chart graph without this fancy colors and this flags and this background. This is the basic plain one when you just have the labels and you have the data. So you have to define which column has the label. So in our case, A has the label, and which column has the values. So in our case, the values are starting from B till the end, so we'll give B till the end. And there are other things like categories that you can mention, and the images like this flags and all that I'm adding, but that we'll do later. For the basic one, you need this column and the data starting from the next column. And once we have done this, we are good to go. You just go to preview and you will see your bar race chart graph here. And there are so many options that you can play with to create the perfect bar chart race graph that you can see here. And we'll do it. But I think for this part of the video, this basic version, I think you get the idea of how you can do it. And in the next video, we'll continue by making a much better graph like this. Again, this and yeah, before I come to this, you can also publish this. So what I mean is, you have to just go to export and publish, okay, and then you can just we can just give a name, say COVID-19 confirm, okay, and then export. You could just go there and it'll be like publish to share and embed, and you have to just write publish, and it's published here. And you also get a embedding code which you can embed in your website, like the one we have done here in our Jupyter notebook. So this is the This is the embedding code I have added, and it will start running in your website. And yeah, and if you click on this, this is publicly available, and you can share this with anybody, and they will see your bar race chart graph here like this. Okay, in the next video, we'll create a beautiful graph like this by tweaking all the parameters of bars, colors, labels, images, and everything. So tune into the next video. Thank you.